Hey guys, what's up? It's Stephanie. I have another video for you guys today. And the topic of the video is going to be what PA schools did I apply to? I've been getting a lot of emails since I started my YouTube channel of viewers asking me what schools I applied to. So if you are interested, I will talk about that. I will also state why I applied to those schools. So I will list those schools, and if you are interested, just keep watching and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Alright, so if you haven't seen my previous videos, one of the videos I discuss how many schools I applied to. So I applied to 15 schools. I did apply twice. The first time that I applied, I only applied to 9 schools, and the second time that I applied to 15 schools. I may have gone a little overload, but I did want to be sure that I had a safety net and that I had enough schools because I really wanted to get in this cycle and not have to reapply again. So this is why I applied to 15 schools the second time. So when choosing the schools that I applied to and the advice that I give to other pre-PA students that are wanting to apply this year or the next year or applying to PA school in general is to research the schools that you are going to apply to. This is what I did. I had a lot of free time in one of my jobs. I worked at a clinic, urgent care clinic, and majority of the time we were dead, so we didn't have that many patients. So I used that free time to research schools that I applied to. I told myself I was going to apply to 15 schools, and what I did is that my first state that I wanted to reside in is Texas, since I am from Texas and my family lives in Texas. My husband lives in Texas. So I did choose, I printed out all the schools from Texas, and I went through every school, and I went to their website and I looked at the prerequisites they needed or they required, also the overall and the cumulative GPA that they required also. So if my GPA was not sufficient that I thought for that school or was at the cutoff for that school, I wouldn't apply. Also, some schools in Texas, for example, one of them was the school in Galveston, UTMB, University of Texas Medical Branch. I didn't end up applying to that school because I did not have the prereqs that they required. So that's why it's really important to research the schools before you apply to them. I also applied to schools that I felt that had the same mission and goals as I did, which is to be able to serve with areas that are underserved. I want to be able to work with Hispanic communities. So this is why I applied to the schools that I did here in Texas. And then once I applied to the schools in Texas, I then started looking at other schools around the US because I was willing to go out of state to attend PA school. I did apply to some schools in California, being that I do have family in Nevada and family in California also. As the schools that I applied to in California, I researched also and I made sure that they had the same goals as I did, which is once again is to be able to work with underserved areas. And then from there, I also looked at other schools aside from California. So I applied to some schools in Arizona, which is close to Texas, and then other states that are nearby. Another thing that I took in consideration is school price. So the tuition of schools, that's really important. I recommend is that when you're applying to PA schools is to also research what is the tuition for them. There were some schools that I had looked up and I wanted to apply to, and the tuition was over $100,000. So I told myself no, and I ended up taking those schools off my list. So this is how I narrowed my list of PA schools that I was going to apply to. So I actually had about 19 schools I wanted to apply to, and then at the end I had about 15 schools that I ended up applying to, just because I researched every school, and then some of them just didn't have the requirements that some of them had requirements that I didn't have, and then just the tuition for some of the schools. Some of the schools also, I asked myself if I could see myself living in that area. So that's why it's also important to ask yourself if you could see yourself, for example, living in an area that's extremely cold all the time, in the desert, etc. So always ask yourself that before you apply also. So I will list all the schools, and it's probably going to go through the screen like really fast right now. So If you do want a list, I can email it to you. Just make sure you send me an email. I did make an Excel sheet and I listed the 15 schools. I also listed how many schools I was rejected from, how many schools I got an interview from, and the school that I was accepted to. So if most of you may not know, I will be attending University of Texas Rio Grande Valley in Edinburg, Texas. So I'm really excited about that. I am from San Antonio, so it's 3 hours away from San Antonio, and I have family that lives in Edinburg, so it's great. And not only that, it's close to Reynosa, Mexico. Majority of the population there are Hispanic. Majority of the population there are underserved. So I felt that this school was perfect for me because it had everything I wanted to look for in a school. And then on top of that, tuition is really low in the state of Texas, so that was another huge plus. And I'll be living also with family members, so I won't have to pay for tuition, which was another plus also. So this is why I chose this school, and I thought it was a perfect fit for me. After I got accepted from that school, I declined my other 2 interviews that I was also given. One of them was from California, and one of them was in Colorado. It was a community college. So I was really excited about going to that one because I love small schools. The majority of my undergraduate years, my first 2 years, I did it at community colleges, and then my second 2 years for my bachelor's degree, I did it at Texas A&M San Antonio. So I really loved that university because it was really small, about 20 to 30 students per class, and I got to really know my professors in that class, and I really liked that. So this is why I also applied to this school in Colorado. It's a community college, and I would have attended, but I got accepted to my number 1 choice, so I did not attend those interviews. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you want an Excel sheet of all the schools that I applied to, rejected, accepted, and received interviews from, etc., I can send you an email. I just don't want to post that publicly. Like I said, I'm going to list the schools like I did previously, show all of them through the screen so you can look at them, but if you just want an Excel sheet, I can definitely send it to you. Alright guys, if you guys have any comments or questions, or just any questions for me personally, you can send me an email. If not, just comment below, give me a thumbs up if you guys like this video, or any feedback. I really appreciate it. That way I can keep making quality informational videos for you guys, because like I said before, my goal is for you guys to get accepted into PA school. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.